Hey everyone, welcome to the Zer PSA. Sorry I was a little bit behind, but we are going to now talk about everything that Zer is selling and what you should buy, what you shouldn't buy, and everything in between. So stick around and we'll see what he has. So first things first, I always like to buy my exotic engram to look at with you guys. I got Karn Scenes, one of my favorite Warlock exotics, so we'll be sure to check that. First gun, Vigilance Wayne. An amazing pulse rifle in PvP, not great in PvE. So if you do not have this, if you're a new light, definitely pick it up. Thank you, Devon, for interrupting. But anyway, next is the Radiant Flux chest armor. I don't know how good this is now. I think it's okay, but the roll itself is pretty mid. Low mobility is not great. Decent recuv and pretty good resilience. Not a bad roll in my opinion, but there definitely could be better distribution of stats there. As for the Aeon Safe Titan exotics, these are really nice in my opinion. 18 recovery is great. 16 intellect is also great. 8 resilience is pretty good. These are a really nice pair of Aeon Safes. Obviously, you can get better, but these are still very good in my opinion. Next, we're going to be looking at the Luna Faction Boots. In my opinion, in PvE, this is actually a pretty decent roll. You get decent recovery there with 17, good resilience, good discipline, or not discipline, sorry, good intellect. These are not terrible boots. I honestly think these might be worthwhile to buy. But next, we have the legendary weapons. 7th Seraph VY7, 4th times the Charm and Dragonfly. Personally, I wouldn't pick this up for anything. I don't think that this SMG is great in general, and the roll itself is pretty bad as well. Next is the Ikelos SMG. This actually isn't terrible in my opinion for maybe PvP, if you want to use this thing for PvP. Dynamic isn't bad at all, and Surrounded, though could be better, is not bad in PvP in my opinion. It just kind of sucks that you have pretty bad barrels for that, and handling masterwork actually isn't too bad. Next we have a Friction Fire. Here's the roll. We have Killing Wind and Wellspring. So this isn't too bad in my opinion if you like Wellspring. I'm not a huge Wellspring fan myself, but Wellspring actually isn't a bad perk, to say the least. I'm just not a huge fan of it. But it's actually not terrible, but I still really want to pick it up. The barrels are pretty atrocious. Next is the 7th Seraph X or CQC. This is a bad roll. I hate to say it. It has pretty bad barrels, in my opinion, for PvP. In PvE, it really doesn't matter. Left from Gold isn't bad and for a PvE standpoint. Kind of the same thing with Shield Disorient, but still not very good, in my opinion. Next is the Fractithist. I can already tell this is garbage because it has Dual Loader and Thresh. The barrels actually aren't like the worst I've ever seen. I like Corkscrew a lot, but Appended Mag, this magazine, not good at all. Dual Loader and Thresh are pretty bad for PvE and PvP, in my opinion, on a shotgun. And you can make it work with other things, but not necessarily with that. Next, we have the Code Duello, Surplus Frenzy. Not ideal. There's a lot of way better rockets in the game. Personally, this is pretty mid. I would not pick that up. And then the Gnawing Hunger Zen Moment Kill Clip. Now this, ooh, and it's got good barrels. This is a fantastic PvP Gnawing Hunger roll. If you are into 600 RPM ARs, this is a fantastic choice. These barrels are fantastic. A Stability Masterwork, in my opinion, is not ideal, but it actually isn't too bad. You're going to be able to get it to around 61 if you use small bore, like that's what I'm going to run, is small bore, accurized. So this actually is an insane roll. I definitely recommend picking that up, so we're going to. As for the armor, we're just going to breeze through it. These are pretty bad, in my opinion. I don't think there's anything like super fantastic here. The best piece, in my opinion, is probably... they're all bad, but I'd say that the helmet actually isn't terrible. You do get some good recuv, discipline, and intellect there, which are nice in PvE and PvP, so definitely not terrible, but still not a great roll. Everything else is pretty garbo, in my opinion. Alright, so for the Hawk Moon, it has Hipfire Grip. This is bad, in my opinion, and mainly because Hipfire Grip on a gun where you want to be aiming and getting precision hits, it's kind of counterintuitive, if you ask me, so it can be a little difficult there. I would not use this or pick this up. If it had rangefinder, it might be a little better, but it does have low range base anyway, so honestly for me, not very good. Dead Man's Tale with 4th times the Charm. This actually isn't too bad. in my opinion, I actually you for using Deadmans for so long, I like certain perks over other ones. Fourth times actually is not bad in PvP. Especially if you're good at hitting crits with this gun. Definitely worth your time in my opinion. But I would say if you're using this thing strictly for PvP, which I think everybody should, you're gonna either want moving target, snapshot sights, or Vorpal weapon, at least in my opinion. Everything else is kind of not necessary or not needed. But that's pretty much it when it comes to the loot that Xur has. Pretty good stuff here and there, but overall pretty low key. So thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.